You're watching Moms Matter. Today we have lone soldier Eli Wininger, who's back from Israel and is here to help you all get healthy and fit and love yourselves. Thank you, Eli, for being here with us today.
Thank you, Sharon.
We talked about your work as a lone soldier, and that's a different episode.
Yep.
But we're going to pivot today and talk a little bit about what you're doing now that you're in LA and that you've found purpose again and about helping people get healthy. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Sure. So I'll talk a little bit also about how I got fully into it, but I had been working on health coaching and just in general in the health space for a little bit before the war had started. And during the war, I had a couple near-death experiences that completely changed the perspective I had on my life and how I wanted to be leading it going forward. And I had come back and I made this decision that this is, I no longer want to be pursuing hours and hours of my life on something that isn't helping and changing the world and doesn't feel like it's purposeful. And instead spending that time on things that matter to me and things that I know I'm making an impact on. Because when I was in the war, I knew I was making this massive impact. No matter how bad the conditions were, I was happy. So when I came back, I said, I want to be pursuing something that's going to change the world, change people's lives, even if it's my own small little microscopic difference. So I came back and I started a company, well, I guess expanded the company because it was going on before, called Concierge Health Coach. And we do health coaching on a very holistic level. So it's not just, a fitness coach. It's not just a personal trainer or a nutritionist. We're including all these aspects, both sleep, both blood work, gut analysis, personal training on a functional level. So how can you expand your health span? How can you make sure that you are the oldest person in the gym, not the youngest person in the old age home? And doing that on a fully holistic level using data, DEXA scans, whoops, or Oura rings to really understand the human body and help each person understand their own body so they're not yo-yo dieting every year or two.
Love that. I love that. I mean, I feel like, especially a lot of the moms watching now, we go through like middle-aged life where we get this bloating. We don't know where it's coming from. We're feeling lethargic. We're just not feeling ourselves. We might look okay on the outside, but we're not feeling good on the inside.
100%.
And it feels like you're addressing those issues and those concerns.
Exactly. So there's so many people that have low energy and they are not fully understanding where that energy is coming from. Oftentimes, moms, dads who are in their 50s and 60s, they go, oh, I've been sleeping 5 to 6 hours a night for years. I'm totally fine. I can function. And I'm like, really? Because the science says otherwise. So how can we improve that to maximize the amount of sleep? Because you do need sleep. Study actually shows that you need more sleep as you get older, even though people are scientifically sleeping less as they get older, just because they think they need to. So incorporating aspects like that, also really understanding your own body. There are certain foods that you might have not even realized are affecting you a certain way, and we can start eliminating those from the diet, not just by testing it, but actually not just by slowly eliminating and seeing how your body feels, but doing actual tests. But again, the number one thing is you eat it, how does your body actually react to it?
Right. And your health journey started when you were a teenager. You just weren't eating sugar. You were clean. You served in the Israeli Defense Forces. And now you're stepping up to run a 230-mile marathon where you will be raising money for the hostage families to help bring home all the hostages.
Exactly. Yeah. So I quit soda and any type of sugar or processed food when I was 13. Because my soccer coach had said it's going to make us better soccer players and healthier. So for me, that was enough. I cut it out. And that was the start of a longer health journey. I started doing yoga around the age of 14 or 15 before it became cool. And it was me, 20 girls, and 1 or 2 gay guys. And I was the only straight guy, and it was the best place to be as a straight guy. So I was doing that. I was meditating a lot. I was doing Ironmans. I had done every diet in the book as using myself as a lab rat. So I've done paleo, vegan, vegetarian, carnivore for a little bit. Tried everything because for me, I want to just experiment and see how it feels on my body and what feels best. And then after the war, after my first stint in Gaza and during COVID, I started getting into ultra marathons. So anyone who's familiar with David Goggins, crazy guy, big fan. I'm a big fan of his, and he really got me on this grind of ultra marathons. I've always been really interested in the mind, which is something I work with my clients a lot, because most of the time it's not knowing what to do, because most people know, eliminate processed foods, eliminate all these different things, get up and work out for 45 minutes a day or do some sort of physically active thing. People know what to do for like that 80% success. It's actually doing it and understand what are your mental limitations. And in an ultra marathon, you're putting yourself through the test. It's not just the actual 50 or 100 or 240 mile race that I'm doing. It's the training for it, because the race is going to only be 12 hours. The 240 mile one will be about 4 days nonstop. But the training for it is a full year beforehand. Every day you wake up and you have to decide, I'm training for this. This is my goal. This is what I committed to myself. I need to get up and do it. And that's so much more difficult to do. That daily grind is the race. Once you show up, it's about just doing it. And your body goes through, and your mind goes through mental lows and highs, nonstop, thinking, that's it, you're going to die, it's over. And then you pop back up. And everything's temporary is one of the things you learn. But so, for this one, I was supposed to do the race on October 11th last year, 2023. I trained a full year for it, fully committed myself. Then October 7th hit. I pulled out of the race. Everyone else still did it. It's a normal race, so the race still went on. I pulled out. I flew to Israel, fought the war, came back. Didn't feel didn't have a why, and couldn't find the purpose of why I was running all these tens or hundreds of miles. And then it dropped, like this realization dropped in me that everywhere in the news, they're saying 240 plus hostages were taken, 240 plus hostages were taken. And my mile is over 240 miles, my race. So I made this connection. I can run a mile for every hostage and raise money. So I'm working with the Bring Them Home Foundation, also known as Hostages and Missing Families Forum. The signs you'll see all over Hostage Square in Israel, all that. It was comprised by friends and families of the hostages on October 7th. Everything goes to the hostages and their families. And that's what I'm running for. That's my why in my running now.
Oh, wow. I mean, not just your why in your running, but your why in everything. It sounds
100%.
like everything has meaning for you in such a deep way.
It's the most important thing, having meaning in whatever you do.
And you're teaching that to your clients through your concierge services as well.
Totally. I mean, not everyone's going to quit their job and pursue something of purpose. I get that. But finding that purpose in whatever you do, whether it's your family, whether it's, something within how it can benefit the world, finding those aspects. And then, at the end of the day, people need to get in shape for their families, for themselves, for their business. Because if you aren't your most optimal self, which I realized in the war, I wasn't living my most optimal self. If you're not living your most optimal self, in this case in health, you're not going to perform as well. You're not going to be as mentally sharp. You're not going to be as fit. All these things are going to limit you from being your best self. So that's what we work on.
100%.
It's all in the mind.
That's incredible. It is. It's always mind over matter, mind over,
Totally.
you can tell your body, your mind controls everything.
And I don't make my clients run 200 miles.
Well, thank God. Thank God for that. Eli, it's incredible what you're doing. For everyone who's interested in reaching out, just DM Eli. He'll answer you. You can get signed up, start working with him. I know I want to start working with you. I mean, it's amazing. I want to figure out what's going on. And then we can come back in 6 months and do another episode on how you've helped me. Yeah. I'm excited.
If you want to, we can, follow me at Eli Wining, ELI, and then winning, like you're winning a race, WINNING. Reach out to me, say that you heard me on the podcast, you'd like to start working together, and we can get going, and you won't run 200 miles.
Amazing.
Yet.
Well, and we can also support Eli. He's running 240 miles for a great cause to help bring all the hostages home, help their families through this very difficult time. So we can find that information also on your Instagram?
Also on my Instagram, there's a link for the donation page, but if you can't find it, just DM me and I'll send you the link directly.
Amazing. Thank you. You truly are making this world better.
Thank you.
Incredible, all that you do. Thank you, Eli. Thank you for bringing light. And good luck on the marathon. I hope you don't need to go back to Israel. I hope Lebanon backs off and you can run your marathon and that we'll see peace.
Amen.
Thanks again for being here. We'll see you all next time right here on Moms Matter. Amazing. How amazing is he?
Oh, really? The other day for your marriage.
Part where he sat tonight.
Collaborate. Yeah. Like Mark Ray says, make sure you say you saw me on the podcast and then tell me.
Oh, yeah. He saw it.